What's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer, and welcome to your daily silver stacking video. Thank you for tuning in. This is going to be a very fun video. I would love for you to participate. When you all participate in these videos, like the video, leave a comment. It makes the video so much better, especially when I ask you all a question, and especially the question that I'm going to be asking. As you can see, it's right in front of your face. Could the silver price really hit $130 per ounce? I want you all, after you like this video, to answer yes or no. And I want, most importantly, for you to explain why you think it can. If you just say yes or no, that's not saying much, but explaining why you think it could or could not hit $130 per ounce is going to be very educational for all of us. And it's not just me on this video, folks. Your comment is going to be posted, and hundreds, if not thousands of other people will be hearing your opinion. So you are just as much a part of this video and this conversation as I am. So really think about your comment, your opinion on this, because if, you know, and especially if your comment gets boosted or people like it, thousands of people could be hearing your decision. So really think about this, and I really want this video to do good because I want to keep a pulse on the market. I want as many people as possible to comment on this video and let me know what they think so we can get a good idea on what people think about this. Now, there is a difference between paying $130 for an ounce of silver versus spot price being $130. So for the sake of this video, we're going to be talking about spot price reaching $130, because even when spot price is at $60, $70, we'll probably be paying $130 to buy a physical ounce. Just like right now, spot price sitting at $22, but to buy a physical ounce is going to cost you around $40. You see what I'm saying? There's a big gap differential. Spot price is detached from the real physical price, and I just see that getting that gap growing bigger and bigger as silver becomes more scarce. So this is going to be a two-part video series. We have, could silver hit $130 per ounce? And then today at 2 p.m., right, on weekends I post 3 videos a day. 2 videos on weekdays, noon and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, and on weekends is 8 a.m., 2 p.m., and then 6 p.m. or 8 a.m., 2 p.m., and then 8 p.m. So 8 to 8 on the weekends, that's Eastern Standard. So expect the other video of when getting posted at 2 p.m. today, Eastern Standard. And then we're just going to talk about that, because we could talk about what the price could do, but the second question is, but when? So it's going to be a fun little two-part video series. And speaking of, you know, of prices, when we're talking about potential opportunity, things that could rise exponentially. GSX, I am giving away tomorrow some silver to 2 lucky people that invest into gold secured currency. It's a crypto backed by physical gold. They dig the gold out of the ground themselves, and you could see that they're on CoinMarketCap. They're listed on Coinbase. They update all day long, 10 hours ago, 13 hours ago, 1 day ago. You can see it's on crypto.com. It's on CoinGecko. They started their own crypto exchange called Nox. They even they made their own mobile game called Gold Inc., where you can literally play a mobile game on your phone and win GSX coins. They created Stratus. I mean, this company is doing a lot, very revolutionary. The roadmap in 2022, they're going to start mining the gold in Zimbabwe. I mean, it's huge. The coins are only 4 cents. The link is in the description if you want to buy GSX, and then take a screenshot of your purchase, send it to Silver Slayer Media. They're not paying me to say this. I'm kind of just throwing this out because I do want people to expand and adapt, and especially in this new digital age. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of this type of stuff, And GSX, it's only been out for 4 or 5 months, already listed on Coinbase and CoinMarketCap, and already, gaining this much attention and traction. I see it being a huge project. And it's not just a crypto. I mean, it's a lot more than that. I mean, I posted a little description in the description of this company and this coin because it's just so big. I can't explain it in a minute or two in my video. There's also some cool there's some cool commercials that they did as well. So yeah, check that out. Links in the description. So here we go. The big question: could the silver price really hit $130 per ounce? What do you think? I definitely think it's not could, it's more of the when. And I definitely think that the when is going to be in the next 2 years, 3 years, that there's this coming up. There's like this 3-year time frame, this gap where everything is going to change. And that is when the new Green Deal is in full swing. Electric vehicles, because every automobile company by 2030 is going electric. So there's this between 2023, 2024, 2025 is when we're going to need all this silver. I mean, demand this year surpassed 1 billion ounces, but during that little time frame, it's probably going to be 3-4 billion easily, because we're talking about the entire globe going green, not just the United States. There's going to be this reality check where people are going to say, holy crap, can we keep producing the newest, latest Tesla? Can we produce all these solar panels, these 5G towers? There's already a silver shortage. Where is this silver going to come from? And that itself could push the price up, but it still has to come from somewhere, whether it's space mining. Regardless, that's a whole separate video, but regardless, there's going to be a reality check and people are going to realize that silver is a lot more valuable than $22. And I think that's when we would see these extremely high prices, not just $130 even. But anyways, I want to read this article to see, what they're talking about. So the silver price made significant gains in the second half of 2020, rising above $20 per ounce for the first time since 2016. And I remember so distinctly, so vividly on this channel, the July 2016 high of $21 silver. I remember, just like I'm making a video today for you, sitting here, silver broke past $21 in July of 2016. It's crazy that I've been making daily videos. Even back then, it would be just like today. July 26, 2016, I'm sitting here making a video just like I am today. But back then, I was so excited because silver broke past $21. We all were. That was the highest level since, I think, 2011, where silver hit $50. So the spot price for this, because also, let me stop right there. The average price of silver for the last decade has been $15. $15. So when it broke past 21, you could see how exciting that would be, right? Breaking past that $20 level. But anyway, so the spot price for the precious metal has managed to stay securely above that level well into 2021. So nonetheless, the well-known figure Keith Newmar, CEO of First Majestic Silver, frequently said he believes the white metal could climb even higher, reaching into triple digits. And it's not just Keith that has said that. A lot of people have talked about $50 silver. A lot of people have. And $100 silver, triple-digit silver, people have as well. Silver is not the only commodity that is reaching its historic highs, and it has reached those highs 2 separate occasions, right? 1980 and 2011. I think we're going to breach the cycle, and when it does, we're going to wake up the market. Once it breaks through $50, it's going to hit $100 pretty quickly, and I agree. The $50 price for silver is so psychologically important and relevant. Once it breaks past $50, I think it would hit $100 extremely fast, because if it stood its ground in 1980 at 50, and then in 2011, 30 years later, it still stood its ground at 50, Then we have another decade or, 15 years added on, and it still doesn't. I don't see what would. Once it breaks past 50, it's going to be the news, your friends, your family, your dog, your cat, the squirrel outside on your back fence is going to all be hearing about silver, wanting a slice of the silver pie, plus the shortage, plus the dollar index, plus stock market volatility. I mean, everything would be going silver's way. And I would only see that driving the price, especially in the next couple of years where that gap is, that 2023, 2024, 2025. During that time frame as well, you mix that in with silver's psychologically breaking through a price target like that, you're starting to get a sense of why prices could get so much higher than $22, right? If someone was gonna say $130 silver, but they weren't making good points, then yes, you could call me a silver pumper. But as you hear me explaining the setup, right, the setup to this, it makes a lot more sense. If I titled this video, silver's gonna hit $130, and someone who didn't know me or didn't, they would say, this guy is so stupid. Let's hear what he got to say. And then he hears what I'm saying, what everything that I'm leading up to it, explaining how or why or where or could it happen. It makes a lot more sense than just reading a title and just assuming what I'm going to say. Because when you look at it, especially what happened in 2011, which led to $50 silver, which is so similar to nowadays, right? It makes even more sense from 2008 to 2011, which silver was from what I think $9 to $50, and it took 3 years. And what happened, which financial crisis, recession / depression back then, $1 billion stimulus back then. 3 years later, $50 silver. Today, almost identical. Credit, financial crisis, recession / depression, $1 trillion stimulus, which a trillion is a much bigger word than a billion. I don't even think the human brain can fathom how much bigger a trillion is than a billion. And we're talking about $1 trillion stimulus plus a global situation, right? And throw on top a silver shortage as well. Man, if that led silver to $50, imagine what it could lead silver to today. So there is a significant distance for the silver price before it reaches $130, right? That's talking about a 500% increase. And I was talking about this in a video yesterday, the gold to silver ratio. If gold is at $2,000 and the ratio goes back to 16 to 1, I think it was 8 to 1, wasn't it? Let me bust in my calculator. If the gold to silver ratio goes back to 8 to 1, that puts silver at $250. If it goes back to 16 to 1, which is a lot more realistic, that puts silver at $125. And that's gold at its all-time high, which had already hit earlier, right? So for the last thousands of years, the ratio has been 16 to 1, 8 to 1. So that's not that crazy. It wasn't until 1930 when FDR got in office when he changed the gold to silver ratio from 16 to 1 to 75 to 1. Single-handedly, he devalued silver. So he says he's been calling for triple-digit silver for a few years now, and he's more enthused now. And he says at an event in January of 2020, when a couple months later, silver hits $11 an ounce. He says he's cautiously enthused because, I thought it would happen sooner than it currently is. And I think that has a lot to do with price manipulation. When I'm talking about these JP Morgan banks and Merrill Lynch and Saxo Bank or the Dutch Bank, these banks that have been caught manipulating silver's price for decades, and I'm talking about millions upon millions upon millions of dollars with several employees rigging these markets, it can affect the price pretty dramatically. I mean, I've covered probably a dozen videos on JP Morgan itself getting caught manipulating the silver price, and 3 of their employees got sent to prison. It's a serious thing, and I think that has a lot to do with it. Not completely though. I mean, regardless, we're in a very different time frame than, and what affects the price is a lot different as time goes on as well. Speculation nowadays, and things are changing, so that's going to have to play into your cards when you're looking at your strategy as well. So, in a more recent interview, when presented with supply side data from Silver Institute indicating the biggest surplus in silver market history, Newmar was blunt in his skepticism. "I think these numbers are all made up," he said. "I wouldn't trust them at all." He pointed out that subtracting net investments in silver ETPs leaves the market in a deficit, and also questioned the methodology behind the institute's recycling data given. That's a whole conspiracy thing when you're looking at numbers, because there is so many little tedious things you would have to look at. So I mean, regardless, he's talking about the human race over consuming over 1 billion ounces of silver annually. Miners are producing 800 million ounces annually. And actually, that's funny because nowadays the demand actually did exceed 1 billion ounces, 1.2 billion ounces. And there is a deficit. And the deficit's only going to grow, especially into that, like I said, that little 2023 to 2025 gap. So, in order to better explain the understanding of precious metals' chances of trading around $130, it's important to examine the factors that can push it to that level or pull it further away. The strength of the U.S. dollar, obviously, that's a very important thing to look at. And for that reason, it's helpful to look at gold price drivers when trying to understand silver's price action in the last year. Silver is, of course, the more volatile of the two precious metals, but nevertheless, it often trades in relative tandem with gold. And yes, gold is silver's big brother, but I do think there's going to be a time, probably between 2023 to 2025, where silver really takes on a life of its own, regardless of what gold's doing, regardless of the dollar index, regardless of stock market volatility. Silver's going to do what it does. It's not pegged to these other things. And that's because silver is used for a lot of things that gold has no use for. Gold isn't used in all these solar panels and electric vehicles. Silver has so much more reason and importance, and is so much more essential than even gold, that it makes no sense why silver isn't one sitting at $1,800 and gold is. So for gold, by extension silver, a key price driver lately hasn't been so much supply and demand, but uncertainty. And then you have and this was right when everything started. It was the U.S.-China trade wars, the Saudi Arabian oil fields getting attacked, and then that led right into the pandemic, right? And it's crazy because I remember when those first two situations, the U.S.-China trade war, all that stuff happening, I was like, okay, here we go, something big's happening. And then the virus hit, and everything changed, right? And the things were so different, and that's why you saw $11 silver. That's why you saw the gold to silver ratio sitting at 125 to 1. But silver has had an amazing recovery, outperforming gold astronomically. I mean, the ratio was sitting at 125 to 1. Now it's down to 75 to 1. That means silver has been beyond astronomically outperforming gold. Because when the gold to silver ratio goes downwards, that means silver is doing better than gold. So the Fed recently dropped interest rates, and this is obviously an older article. It's from June or July, so we already know all that. So historical prices, he's saying that silver's highest price was $50 in 1970s and then 2011, and that's from investment demand. And the price of silver has yet to trend that high, but is moving closer. And then in February 2021, Wall Street silver pushed it to $30. So I I do see that he makes some good points. There's also some other points that he didn't mention or he could have looked more into, but I think I kind of explained them, just kind of, you know, etching off of what he was saying. I think I covered most of the stuff that he could have also mentioned or just didn't mention. And that's also why I think it's so important to watch even a channel like mine. I don't know too many channels that are like mine, that take their content this direction, but you know, because there's so many opinions and there's so much information and so many different angles you could look at this and so many different things affecting the price, just like all the comments in this video. You're going to hear so many different angles and people making so many different points that I didn't make, that is going to make sense and make such an impactful perspective to your strategy so you can adjust and adapt accordingly. I mean, that's why I say comment. That's why I say leave your opinion. That's why I say read other people's opinions. And we're all in the same team. If you don't agree with someone, it doesn't mean that you're wrong or they're wrong. It just means that that's their perspective from their strategy. And what works for you isn't going to work for them. What works for them isn't going to work for you. So you can't really tell someone they're wrong, especially when we're talking about something that we don't know happening yet. We don't know when silver's going to hit $130. So if someone says a certain time, you can't tell them they're wrong, because what if they're right? What if it does hit then? So I would love for you all to you know, participate. After you like the video, please leave a comment. At 2 p.m., we will be talking about this. When will silver go up? We'll be talking about more of the time frame, going deeper into it. I know I kind of mentioned that gap, but there's definitely a lot more to look in, especially when that first initial kick up is going to be taking off. And then if you want to invest into gold secured currency, GSX, it's a crypto backed by physical gold. It's redeemable for actual gold. It's not only a crypto, but it's a growth coin, and it's also what's the other one? It's a growth coin, a stable coin, and a crypto, which is 3 different things. I mean, this company's crazy. They've been doing everything they said they would, and yeah, they're legit. They're on the market right now. I mean, it's been on the exchange. It's trading at 4 cents or I think around 3 cents, something like that. So yeah, if you want to invest, links in the description. Take a screenshot, send it to Silver Slayer Media, and I'll be announcing a couple winners tomorrow. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.